And
My door just closed, but I am alone in the house. That's why I looked up.
you have a cat, though. I mean, let's be honest.
She doesn't close doors. She's not a reverse velociraptor. She can
learned.
open doors using her body weight, but she can't
learned.
close them. I like
How
to
hard
think
could it
that there are ghosts in my house, but even they don't enjoy the podcast. They're like,
Like, you know
that's
what?
enough.
I'm trying to watch BritBox out here because I never get a chance because usually Tyler's watching something. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, welcome to Your Inner Child is an Idiot. This is the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood, see if they're any good to begin with. My name's DJ.
And my name's Damon. Hello. I almost screwed up saying hello.
Hello. Well, since we've been doing this other person guesses in the first little bit here, we've been forgetting to introduce our show quite a bit. So I'm going to nip that in the bud today.
Don't worry. I will forget when it's my turn to record the other intro we're doing today.
Speaking of nipping, this is a feisty topic that we're going to cover. Okay.
A topic?
Well, okay. I didn't want to give it away, but it's a movie.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I think I've got it.
As it's so
Two Men Dancing by Thomas Edison.
Yeah. The very first. It's Train Coming at You and theater getting scared. I don't know that one. What that
The
one's
Great
called.
Train Robbery. We're going to dive out of the way in our theater seats.
We have not covered any movie in this in the legacy that this movie spawned, but it does open the door for us to cover a lot of other movies if we want.
What? Are you talking about a franchise or this movie created a genre?
It's a franchise.
Okay. And is it related to the time of year, which is, of course, as you and I both know, early November?
It is. I picked this movie because it was mentioned somewhere that some of this movie, at least, takes place in November. It's not a big part of the movie, but that is what inspired me. I kind of wanted to cover this movie anyway. It's
a part of this movie takes place in November, Mr. Holland's Opus.
No, but it is related in the sense that it is Oscar
baity?
Yes, well, Oscar winning in this case. It is a
Caught the Fish.
It's an acclaimed movie.
Okay.
It began a career that we're still dealing with to this day.
Oh, good. I like the phrase "dealing with."
In various ways.
Is Joe Rogan in movies?
I mean, you're in the right realm.
Radio movie.
You're in the right realm in the sense that it involves a fighter, who fights. And
Cinderella Man.
This movie is from the 70s. And
whoa. A fighter who fights. Oh. El Rocky.
Yes. El
1,
Rocky.
2, 3, 4, 5.
We're going to start
Rocky
with
Balboa?
one. We're going to start with one, and we're going to see if we can understand a single fucking word that Sylvester Stallone says in it. Because he wrote it. And
he did. Oscar-winning screenwriter Sylvester Stallone.
We're going to go around 1976, Rocky. I wouldn't say that I loved this movie as a kid, but I did love the Rockies.
Because you only like it when boxers win. You're the Donald Trump, and Rocky is your John McCain, and you just prefer it when boxers win. It's a 2016 reference.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
I have seen, this is the only Rocky I have seen, as I believe I stated in whatever movie we were talking about when we brought up Rocky. And
check the archives, everyone.
I watched it with friend of the pod, LT.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both watched it out of like a sense of duty. I think we were like, we're going to watch this.
Yeah.
But I have not seen any of the other ones.
This one I think is...
But I remember liking this one, sorry.
Yeah. I think this is legitimately a good movie. Like it is. I think it is. I expect it to stay well rated. You know what I mean? In our minds, I don't think we're going to all of a sudden be like, this piece of shit. I do think it's kind of a, not just Sylvester Stallone, but it's a mealy mouth 70s movie. And there's a lot of like, what did they just say?
Mumblecore.
I remember that.
Turn on your closed captions.
And then, he loses. That's crazy.
Spoilers for this movie I've seen, and where he famously loses. I am excited for this. I'm excited for Very Quiet Adrian. I am very excited for Burgess Meredith.
Yeah. He has, I don't remember if it's from this one or another Rocky, but he says one of my favorite lines, which is, Rock, you're blocking with your face. Which is bad for a boxer, as I understand it. I think I also learned, because this movie as a kid kind of got me into boxing, this plus the existence of Mike Tyson as a
got you into boxing. Explain what
got me into boxing as a viewer for a brief period when I was like 7 or 8, and it was like Mike Tyson's winning everything, he's crushing. Rocky's out there, they're fighting Russians. There's all kinds of shit going on. Punch Out, I was playing Punch Out nonstop, and then I watched Rocky, and I'm like, oh, they don't even put their hands up. They just punch each other in the face back and forth. I think that would be very short-lived as a boxing match, the sweet science, I say. That's what I call it. Punching each other is the sweet science.
That is true. I think even MIT would agree with that. I am excited also because this is possibly Sylvester Stallone at his hottest.
Okay.
Facially, probably his oiliest bottom.
Pectorally.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely has more like a very in shape, but also like a more normal person looking body. I mean, like for a very toned athlete, but like it looks like something that exists in nature, as opposed to later when it's just sort of like a craggy. Let's not do this. Let's not body shame. Okay. I'm sorry. I started that.
You started it and then immediately put the kibosh on it.
I'm not doing that.
Well, I wanted to attack his current face, but his baby face is pretty adorable.
There's a lot of pressures on 70 to 80-year-old men to look a certain way. They see all the magazines like AARP and see all those beautiful models, and they're like, oh, I could never be that. They see the huge naturals on Ted Danson, and they're like, how am I supposed to compete with that?
And then you find out, they're malnourished because they've just been eating prunes the entire time.
Yeah,
trying to get that body, and it's sad.
Fat natties like Ted Danson, you can't compete with that.
And you go to those old lady shops, and they only sell XXLs.
Yeah,
and it's like, I need sizes for real old people here.
Give me that 70s boob ski lift energy. That's
right, and petites. Where's your Mrs. section, please?
I have to be honest. For the purposes of this podcast, I would say I am looking forward to watching this, but I'm also maybe equally excited to watch the other movies at some point in the future, because eventually we're going to get to him fighting Mr. T in Rocky 3, and we're going to get to him fighting Dolph Lundgren as...
When does he fight him? When does he fight Dolph?
Rocky 4. So we've got a while. We've got a minute.
Jesus.
Till we get there.
And I personally am excited to find out which part of this movie takes place in November.
Yeah, I don't actually know, but I was like, that's enough. That's a thin enough connection that I'm going with that one.
I like that we always commit to watching movies that have at least part of their plot take place in the month that we're viewing it in, or at least releasing the episode in.
I was kind of hoping that you would pick up the Thanksgiving slack with your message or your movie choice, so we will find out. But we'll
have to see.
First, watch Rocky. Watch along with us, 1976.
We'll do that literally now.
Let's go. Move. Also, we didn't really talk about the Philadelphia of it all, but we'll get into it.
I have been to that statue, and by a lot of Gen X and Boomer men who were taking their picture by that statue.
Cheesesteaks. Why are you being so weird about it? Oh, that fly just went right in front of the camera.
Right, and
I was
right there. Oh, yeah, he left. They can see you because time moves slowly for them or something.
I imagine you giving him a thunderous punch, just like the Italian stallion himself.
Jabs, uppercuts.
Those are both punches.
Side sweeps.
I think that's not a punch.
Okay,
you're
hold on. Face punch.
I mean, I don't think that's technically like the name of a punch, but that is...
Up, down, down, A, B, start, select.
Select is the uppercut. That's
When do I get a star? Is that when
punch 'em in the
Apollo
stomach
Creed
and they're not
winks at me,
expecting
and that's what, if I hit him right after that, I get a star? Okay.
Hey, listen, I have an idea for the commercial. I'm going to sing the Rocky theme to pump you up, and you're going to tell the patrons, the people about our Patreon page.
Okay. I'm not, I will say my doc, okay. Guys, it's really exciting over here. I'm about to have my ass kicked by the world's greatest boxing champion. But before I do, I want you to know, first off, about copyright laws and how we might be, sued at some point by Jerry Goldsmith or, one of his friends. But other than that, I want you to know about Patreon. Oh, you're just covering it.
Don't know about the legality of that. Don't worry about it.
About patreon.com/Your Inner Child is an Idiot, something we can't get sued for mentioning. If you want to support the podcast, if this is something you like, whatever we've cobbled together here, if you like what this is,
he's trying hard now.
You can donate to the podcast and help support it. Thank you. Once again, just I don't know when it's decrescendoing, but I just want to mention yourinnerchildsanidiot.com or patreon.com/yourinnerchildsanidiot.
One of those will go to our Patreon page. Thank you very much.
The other will send you into a pit of rats.
We don't really know where it's going to go. I actually don't know if we can get in trouble for saying that, but I don't care.
Hey,
I'm the challenger.
Hey,
I'm just a street tough.
I'm going to make sure that the Rocky producers never hear this episode. I know a few guys that can convince some other few guys not to listen to a podcast.
Do you want to hear two 40-somethings talk about Rocky?
Finally, a white guy's perspective on the movie.
Okay. Is it my recap or your recap?
It's your movie. You brought the movie to the prayer circle, so you have to recap the movie.
Because I recapped Friday night just because I wanted to say some things. Okay. Listen.
Makes it sound like you wanted to say a slur. That's what.
Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa.
Here's my thoughts on Roddy McDowell. Go ahead.
Rocky Balboa. He's a boxer from the streets of Philadelphia. He's a bit of a loser as things go.
Some might say.
He's making $40.55 in a fight when he wins every once in a while, but he is mostly for money, breaking thumbs for a loan shark.
And even
and even then he's not doing that right because he's kind of a nice guy.
I want 3 thumbs on my desk by Friday.
He's friendly harassing a local pet shop worker, Adrian, and he's going to the boxing club. What do you call those?
Yeah, a boxing gym.
A boxing gym. That's the word. A gymnasium.
You get a locker.
Sorry, a Jamesnasium is what I was. But he's not, not much is going on. Meanwhile, Apollo Creed is the heavyweight champ, and he is just living on top of the world. But his challenger drops out, and he decides, in a stroke of genius, that he's going to pluck an obscure fighter off the street. And he looks at Rocky, and he's like, "This guy's just loser enough." And
what's a bicentennial celebration without a boxing match?
Yeah,
I don't know of any that doesn't have a boxing match.
I haven't experienced one single United States bicentennial without a boxing match. So
precisely.
Evidence. Your Honor. He selects...
This is a trial for murder? I would like to
I'm so sorry.
rescind my opening arguments, and
I'm gonna
if we can get a recess.
I thought this was where the vending machine was. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought recess meant we all got to play together. I didn't know we were just going to smoke cigarettes and, get a
brief
Coke.
recess. Yes. Meanwhile,
I call Foursquare.
Meanwhile, back in the recap.
Sorry.
Apollo Creed has plucked Rocky Balboa from obscurity, and they have a bout together. But Rocky takes this pretty seriously. This is his shot.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually,
You could argue that he wanted to be a contender, but that would be a different movie entirely.
That would be a different. You can't say that about this.
You wouldn't. Legally, I cannot say he wants to be he could have been a contender.
Now, eventually, after a lot of walking around and talking, we do get a fight. And
my door just closed, but I am alone in the house. That's why I looked up.
You have a cat, though. I mean, let's be honest.
She doesn't close doors. She's not a reverse velociraptor. She can open doors using her body weight, but she can't close them.
She learns. She's smart.
I like to think that there are ghosts in my house, but even they don't enjoy the podcast. They're like,
like
that's enough.
I'm trying to watch BritBox out here. Because I never get a chance, because usually Tyler's watching something I don't know I've already seen. Okay, so everybody's knows from Rocky, right? Okay, so Rocky approached this very seriously. This is his shot, and he gives the champ the fight of a lifetime. He still loses. Apollo Creed wins, but he goes all 15 rounds. It's a decision. Apollo wins, and just because he's concussed isn't necessarily any reason to doubt this, but I think Rocky in the fight realizes that, that's not actually what's important to him. He's realized that Adrian's important to him. That's why when people are talking to him, trying to give him accolades, this is the best fight I've ever seen. I can't believe it. All he wants to do is yell, "Yo, Adrian."
Find a man who will yo at you.
Who will yo you. That's Rocky in a nutshell.
I wanted to bring something up, but now I won't. Just now? Because I can't remember what it was.
Okay. I'm sure it'll come up.
I'm sure it won't. Yeah. That is the plot of Rocky. I do know what I want to bring up.
Turtles.
First off, is this the secret of the ooze that I was promised? For half
That's how they learned all the fighting.
That's how they learned all the boxing moves that they're so famous for. Teenage Mutant Boxing Turtles. Hey, I have a thing.
Okay.
I thought boxing was 12 rounds. Is it 15 rounds at all times?
I have to be completely honest. Other than go punch each other, I don't really know any of the rules of boxing. You can't kick.
Yeah, you can't kick. That is one of the rules.
I know that hugging is briefly allowed, but not for too long.
Yeah.
And I know no kicking. And I know I can't finish the count. I can't start counting when the other guy's down unless you go to a neutral corner. So you can't go to your corner. You got to go to a neutral corner.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the count? Repeat that again?
So this is an example in the fight at the end. And there's some, not really debate because it's a movie, but like some mild debate about this when he knocks Apollo down in the first round. He doesn't immediately go to a neutral corner.
Oh, if I punch you and you fall down, I'm supposed to go into one of the other two corners. That is not the referee, mine and not yours.
The referee can't start the count until the other boxer's in a neutral corner. I guess so that they can't yell mean things at someone who's already down.
Guys, please. He's already down. Don't punch down. That's what I always say about boxing. I
want a good, clean fight. No name calling. I love the arbitrariness of, and it's all sports, right? That's all kind of arbitrary. But I like the idea of I want you to punch each other as hard as you can. I want a good, clean fight. You know what I mean? It's like, no kicking. What are you, a monster? And then you go to MMA and you're like, you guys can kick. It's a different sport.
This is fine. There's a different thing. There's more walls up.
Yeah.
Just in case one of your shoes comes loose, doesn't fly off into the audience. I thought it was always 12 rounds. And
I don't know. And maybe they changed it since the 70s. This is 1976, Could be different. I don't know. I think you might be thinking of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, in which it's 3 rounds.
3 rounds, and the weight classes are very loosey-goosey.
Yeah, they don't really...
Very loosey-goosey.
Why in the world would Mike Tyson, this version of Mike Tyson, who, by the way...
who is like 7'14".
He's like he weighs 600 pounds of muscle. And this man...
And little Joe, who's literally my height. Yeah. He's like 5'7".
Okay. Aside from... Let's get off of the boxing. Okay, let's not talk about boxing. That's
it's not really about. The focus of this movie.
Yeah,
it's just a story about a guy.
Lauren was pretty upset. She said
By
there's
the boxing?
a lot of walking around in this.
Oh,
People
I
are just
didn't
kinda
mind the walking around. I kind of liked that it wasn't as boxing focused. I like that they really established who he was, that he's sort of like this linchpin in the community. Maybe don't agree with all the advice that he's giving out to wayward girls in the community.
Yeah. We'll talk about
maybe we should fight, the system that views her as a whore, rather than just calling her a whore.
We would not yet have that technology. And
no,
arguably,
we didn't have the ability to fight the patriarchy yet. We only knew to don't hang out with so many boys and don't smoke cigarettes because people are going to call you a whore. I'm going to use a bad word right now, but, it's true. They're going to call you a whore.
It's true.
Yeah, I didn't mind the walking around. I like that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is a very intimate movie. Is one of the things I came away at the end. Like, even like the press conference when he's being announced as the new contender for this fight, we don't see the press conference in real time in the movie. We watch it with him, watching it with Adrian on the news. Like, it's only at the final match when this movie just suddenly opens up and you see thousands of people in the arena and presumably thousands watching on TV.
And the millions watching at home.
So it is like a real neighborhood movie. So I didn't mind the walking around.
I didn't really either.
So Lauren, that's a strike against you. 3 strikes, you're off as the ancillary character in the podcast.
Hey, babe. Your take? It's wrong.
It's objectively incorrect.
No, I mean, it probably is not a surprise that this Oscar-winning movie is kind of good.
They've done it again.
We get to kind of explore why you care when the fight happens, which is it's a lot. Like the fight is the very, very end of the movie, and then it's like the fight is over and the movie's over. Like, it's kind of great because it's everything leading up to it, but also both Rocky and I think the viewer realize that it's like that is his shot, but it's also not the most important thing. It's him kind of figuring out who he is, who he wants to be, like believing in himself, Adrian believing in him, all that kind of stuff.
Do you think they regret not having the additional scene that they had as a stinger during the mid-credits where Rocky's at home with Adrian? There's a knock at the door. Who is it? Apollo Creed. He cocks a gun and says, "We got to go fight a predator right now." Do you think they regret that, not tying it more into the Predator cinematic universe?
What's a bummer
that didn't exist yet.
What's a bummer is I feel like that this franchise very much becomes a lot more like that. Not quite to that degree, but pretty much.
I will say I did watch the trailers to the other 5 Rockies and at least one Creed trailer. And it does feel like the intimacy of the original movie does seem to get lost when he's out in the tundras of Canada or whatever, training to fight against He-Man.
Well, okay. Well, you got that a bit backwards, but
okay.
Listen, we're not talking about Rocky 4.
You're right.
Rocky 1.
Let's focus on what this movie accomplished.
Okay, let's talk more about the turtles. They're named Cuff and Link, and they're still alive as of 2020, apparently. That's
in the movies?
They made an appearance, I think, in Rocky Balboa or Rocky, whichever one.
I'm charmed by that. Turtles do live like a fucking long time.
Yeah, they're like, I don't think they knew when they bought them, but now Sylvester Stallone took them after this, and they became his turtles.
Oh, like the actual turtles are still alive. I thought you meant like in one of the Rocky Balboas of
I think they do
present
make an appearance in one of them, but they even past that, because the last one was 2005 or something. I think that's when Rocky Balboa came out. I think it's very charming. I just look.
You do love turtles. It's one of the few animals you enjoy.
Yeah, that's it. That's the list. Turtles, tortoises. Okay, there's 2.
We got them both.
Yeah, I think I don't actually know what kind. He says they're domestic turtles, which I find very charming. Also, just like his love.
The fact that he also keeps calling them very rare as well to anyone who will listen or not listen.
Especially Adrian, who's like, yeah, I sold them to you. I work at the pet store. You know, like
I told
people.
You're just regurgitating information I no doubt told you when you purchased them.
You talked to 2 people. One of them is my brother. The other is me. I really like that's very because I think that's part of the point is you come into this being like, well, he's kind of a lunkhead, and he is, but he's very like, he doesn't stop talking like the whole time. He's very just kind of like, he's got kind of, I don't know if it'd be golden retriever energy, a boxer probably. If you had
I was gonna say like he is. I think legally speaking, and because of his Italian heritage, I think we can call him a galoot.
Okay, all right.
He is very much like he's a lovable oaf.
Yeah.
And I think when he gets nervous, he talks more. And I think, I mean, we can head into the problematic corner shortly. I'm sure we'll need to.
Yeah.
But with Adrian, especially in the early scenes, what is very cute is that he's not like those first scenes where we see him. He's not like constantly asking her on a date. He's just like trying to talk to her, and it's obvious
she's giving him nothing.
She's giving him absolutely nothing, which we can bring up in that problematic corner.
Yeah.
He just keeps talking like out of nerves.
He doesn't ask her questions, but she doesn't say anything, or she gives like one word answer. So he just kind of like continues. So it's not.
And his jokes are really corny. He's like, she's feeding canaries at one point. And he's like, hey, you ever think these canaries look like candy that can fly? And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you being like this?
Should we, since we kind of broached it, let's get into the corner. What do you say?
Yeah, Jackson.
Watch out now, y'all.
Kick us in.
Got a problem, baby. Ooh, watch out now,
all right,
y'all.
what do you want to
Let
kick
him
us
know
off?
about it.
Yeah, so I mean,
this is Damon's problematic corner, by the way, if you're unfamiliar.
True, I do get 10 cents every time someone has a problem with anything. It's the Adrian stuff for the most part, although Pauly is in this sphere as well. But Adrian is very shy, like cripplingly shy. And I think that's what the movie is trying to convey. But what it comes off to me as a woman who is not interested in Rocky whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so it's very uncomfortable. And I feel like just giving us a little bit of something in the script would have been very helpful to make it not so icky. And then further, Pauly, who is Adrian's brother and sort of Rocky's not confidant, guy he knows in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
He wants Adrian out of the house because he's scared she's going to be an old maid. She's in her 30s. She hasn't gotten married. And he sort of has to care for her. Like they live together and you can tell like he's sort of cramping his great style, while she's there. And so he sets her and Rocky up on a date. And the date is fine to a point. It's still, once again, like Adrian not engaging at all. Yeah. He takes her. The date's first off on Thanksgiving. What?
He brings her to Thanksgiving, or brings him to just the two of them Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then Pauly throws her turkey that she's making out the window, which seems insane.
Yeah.
But anyway, they go to ice rink, which is closed or closing because it's Thanksgiving. And Rocky, being the neighborhood guy that he is able to convince the guy to keep it open for 10 minutes. So they skate for 10 minutes, which is somewhat cute because Rocky won't skate. And so she's sort of skating and he's sort of like jogging alongside her. And it's charming. It has its charm. And then they go back to his apartment where she's like, I won't go in there. Like, she's a good Catholic girl. And he's like, nah, come on. And she's like, no. And then eventually, like, she concedes. And this is like the hardest part of this movie is this scene where she literally is standing there still in her hat and coat, standing basically in the doorway of his apartment. And he's like casually talking and he's telling her about the turtles. Then he sits down on the couch, which is filthy, by the way. I could smell his apartment through Amazon Prime as I was watching it. It was disgusting. Like there's beer bottles like stuck in the cushions, there was like the back cushions of his couch, and there's just newspapers.
Yeah, no one knows how to throw away beer bottles in this whole movie. There's also like a waft of Bezos cologne just through the Prime, through Amazon Prime, but then you get to the Rocky smell.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, sit down on the couch with me. It's a nice couch. I don't know. Which was my favorite line in the film. It's a nice couch. I don't know. And she still refuses to get any closer. And then he comes up to her, pulls this move, and I have to hand it to Adrian. She's a stronger woman than I am, where he is leaning against this rod that I think he does pull-ups on, and he's like in a wife beater, he's in an A shirt, pits out, leaning like towards her, and I'm like, Adrian, do it for me. You have to do it for me. You've got young Stallone in an A shirt, looking beautiful. Come on. Not that you have to. I don't want to coerce you into doing anything you don't want to do. But then eventually he's like, let me kiss you. And then she tries to leave.
Her. Yeah.
And he puts his hand against the door.
And I think terrifying move.
This is where me and Tyler like felt really conflicted, because I feel like Stallone does a really great job of like sort of portraying him as a non-threatening guy. But I am sure there are a zillion women in this universe who have been on a date with the non-threatening guy.
Also,
he's
now
like connived her into... Yeah, he's like got a foot on her and 150 pounds on her, and he's like putting his weight against the door. Not to mention, he also has his hand on the opposite side of her, so she can't even go that way. So fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very... And, I mean, I think this is a different kind of problematic, but it's very upsetting. Is he handles his turtles and then does not wash his hands. And then is sort of pawing all over her.
Yeah.
So, look, I love turtles.
2 strikes right there.
Disease vectors. Okay, you gotta wash your hands.
Absolutely.
You gotta just wash it. You can pick them up.
They've got ooze. It's well established.
That's the secret.
They've got secrets of ooze on them.
The secret is that it's filthy. Yeah, it's very upsetting. And like, some of this is like, okay, there's like 3 kinds of problematic here. There's like just plain old problematic, like just the way it is. Then there's like it's the 70s problematic.
Yeah.
And then there's the story, like Polly's problematicness is like part of the sort of Adrian's arc, right? Like is she eventually just like beats the shit out of him, like when they have this big confrontation, and she's like, I'm cramping your style. I'm cooking for you. I'm cleaning for you. I take care of you. You come home drunk and I put you to bed, and all you do is pay the fucking rent if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? Like, I also have a job. I'm helping. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't say all that exactly in those words, but like, that's like her part. And so Polly's like abusiveness, like his verbal abuse and his...
And physical abuse. Like, I mean, I'm sure that's not the first time he's come home throwing a bat around.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of like, it's not that it's not problematic. It's like story in the story. Whereas this is like, it's just sort of like, she's so shy. And she does like, I don't know, like it's hard when the story is like, you know, she needed this or whatever. She didn't.
Yeah,
nobody says
because then she opens up after this, going forward. You know, she and Rocky are in a relationship, and that's great. It's great that I see her open up because it makes her character more interesting. But it also has that evocation of like, all she needed to do was get fucking railed, and then she's like real cool. And I'm like, God, movie, please stop. Don't be like, it really plays into a lot of tropes that I'm sure men have used to justify their actions for time immemorial.
Just never stop pursuing.
Uncomfortable.
You know,
but never stop pursuing. All you need to do is be persistent. If she doesn't respond to your questions or your jokes, just keep telling them, and then convince her drunk, abusive, emotionally abusive, and physically abusive brother to take you out on a date on a major holiday.
He also, Polly calls her the R word. Because
that's true. Polly also fucking sucks, and the only reason I want to bring this up, because he is sort of played as like not an antagonist really, but just he's a mess. He's a fuck up. He's a drunk. He's emotionally abusive. He's physically abusive. I really thought we were going to get the trifecta in terms of abuse for a while. I was like, is this going to be revealed like he's weird with Adrian? But we don't get there. Sorry, I was like, this guy sucks. And it seems like in almost every way that he can suck.
Yeah.
We also find out like he's kind of manipulative of Rocky himself. Like once Rocky, well, first off, I mean, Rocky's like a heavy for the mob. Like that's how he earns like his keep. And Paulie really wants to get in with the mob.
Yeah.
Great judge of character there. And then when Rocky, you know, gets this opportunity, he's like, oh, by the way, I told the news about your training. And Rocky's like, I don't want anyone bothering me training. You know this. And he's like, yeah, but I know. It's just a great opportunity. And then later he's like, hey, I'm going to make some money off your name. And Rocky doesn't seem to care, but it still seems like a shitty thing to do. And then watching the trailers to the other 17 Rocky movies, Paulie's in all of them.
Yeah. He's a staple of this franchise.
Fuck him. Don't fuck Paulie.
So I'm looking at you,
Talia
Adrian.
Shire
This
is
weird.
also in it, but like Paulie is like a
Well, she's the
through
yeah.
line. Yeah. But I mean, for a character that seems to be set up to suck,
Yeah.
the movie seems really, the series, I guess, seems really committed to him.
I think it has to do with, I think we can get out of the corner and just talk about.
Yeah, we can leave now.
We already talked about, while we're in
We've solved all the problems.
We already talked about his whole speech to the teen girl, Marie, or what was her name? About because she hangs out with boys and smokes, or bad boys on the corner and smokes cigarettes, she's a whore. All right, let's get out of the corner.
Ooh, watch out now, y'all. Let them know about it.
Thank you, Justin. While we're talking about Paulie, let's continue. So he, at the end, towards the end of the movie, Rocky agrees to let Paulie put like the meat place on his robe, which, to be fair, had a big part of his training, a big part in his training. And he like just has this like ugly patch on the end of it. And it seems like he got the robe for free. And they're like, he's like, Paulie gets $3,000, I get the robe. And that's when Mickey goes, shrewd.
Fucking Mickey.
Mickey is the best. I don't know. I think it has to do with kind of showing a little piece of this sort of neighborhood too. Like Paulie is a piece of this whole, Paulie is like, their relationship is like a piece of this whole puzzle of like.
No, he does feel like a real character. I will say that. I was just surprised when I watched the other trailers. I'm like, he sticks around?
I know. Yeah. Like, I mean, and it's not like he's supposed to be, like you said, he's not the antagonist, but you're not supposed to come out of this like he's a good guy, but also they're like, yeah, he's Paulie from the neighborhood. I'm not going to like kick him to the curb. He's had a rough life. He's got arthritis. He still has to carry meat. I'm like, if he wants to ride on my coattails, fuck it. Mm-hmm. And then plus now it's like, I'm dating it's like he's my brother because he's like, I'm dating his sister. So like, it seems very, I didn't grow up in that kind of neighborhood, of like.
I just wish that he didn't suck so clearly. But Burgess Meredith is bristly without making just me hate him.
Sucking so hard is what I say. Yeah, he sucks. I mean, I agree with you. But yeah, it's hard to watch too, especially seeing like his big abusive, like when he finally blows up. Like we see him at Thanksgiving, he throws her turkey out. That's as someone who's trying to make a turkey before. Can you imagine if that turkey you had been brining and you had finally, it was done.
Furious.
It was ready.
It was ready because he eats the leg that came off when he chucked it out there.
Also, he keeps touching Rocky with it. Gross.
Don't.
At least it's fully cooked. But yeah, they just threw it out. Apparently, the production was trying to save money so much they would catch it and reuse it for other shots. Which I don't know if that's true, but I like that story. That they were kind of saving money whenever they could on this production, and this is a good example of when that actually leads to the sort of intimacy that you were talking about. Like part of that, as I think, is the lower budget, and they were like, well, let's just shoot this with these 3 people because that's all that's important, and it's true. Like you don't miss. The fact that they it's just the Zamboni driver and Adrian and Rocky, which was not apparently the original plan at the ice rink.
What do you know? What?
Well, the story I read is it was supposed to have a bunch of extras, and it was supposed to be like when the ice rink was open, and they kind of reshot because this is all they had. And I mean, it's so much better. You get so much because it's like this is what's important, and it's kind of like
I mentioned. It's a lot more It's a lot more memorable than what a scene in a full ice rink would be.
Yeah, and I think when it works out for the best, that's the kind of things that happen. Is you're like, okay, well, if you're, you've got a good screenplay and a good director and good acting, you can say, okay, well, what's important here? What can we actually? Is it important that we get a brand new turkey every take, or something like? No,
right.
So what's important? Do you want to talk about Mickey since we brought him up?
Yes, I do want to talk about Mickey because we brought him up. I love Mickey. I love any character that's introduced screaming shut up at someone. He goes, hey, Mickey, shut up. That's his first line. I like Mickey a lot. I as covered in our Grumpy Old Men episode, I like Burgess Meredith a lot.
Great.
But yeah, here, I mean, he
already
looks like
70 in this. Crazy.
like a fucking potato in just like a beanie. And he gets a lot of like really effective scenes. I for some reason in my head, he was much more like of like the third character in this movie, but he's not. He's a little bit more on the margins than I remember.
Yeah.
And in this, he, was frustrated with Rocky. He owns the boxing gym. He's kicked Rocky out of his... We know Mickey's name before we ever see him because he's thrown Rocky out of his locker.
Mickey's looking for you.
And then, he has that moment when Rocky tries to confront him. He's like, shut up! And sort of pisses on Rocky's win that we saw at the beginning scene. And then later, he has this sort of moment where he calls out Rocky. He's like, you could have been something, but instead you're fighting these know-nothing fights. And
you're working for the loan shark.
And you're working for the mob.
Yeah.
And really calls him out. And then when he gets this opportunity, Mickey takes it upon himself to go reach out to him.
Yeah.
And say, I want to manage you. I want you to win. And Rocky, it's actually a really effective scene. I thought, like, he comes in and asks Rocky to do this, and Rocky sort of...
He's pissed.
He's pissed, like, but he just sort of
now that I have
in
some
his
success.
room.
Yeah.
He hides in his room while Mickey's there, and then once he knows that Mickey's left, then he yells at the door.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, sort of showing, like, even though he's this boxer, he's too scared to actually confront Mickey when he's there, and he just screams at him. And then, once he gets that out of his system, he chases after Mickey down the street, and, you see him sort of in silence agree to be managed by Mickey.
I thought that was really effective, but all of that, like, first... kind of because Mickey's a little hat in hand, right? Like he's kind of kicked Rocky out. He's made this big declaration. Hey, I thought you were talented. I thought you were a good boxer. And then you went and worked for the mob. But now you've got this opportunity, and it feels like I'm sort of jumping on the bandwagon, but I really think you could do something here because I do think you're talented. I mean, in so many words, that's what he says. And he's like, I used to be a boxer. I know this, all this and that and that. And he's kind of like eating crow a little bit to do this. And Rocky's not having it. He's pissed because he's like, you didn't believe in me before, and now all of a sudden I luck into this opportunity. Now all of a sudden you care, but he's not saying any of that. He's just kind of being a little baby about it. He's just kind of pouting. And then you realize the discrepancy of size between they're just in his little apartment, and you're just like, oh, like it's kind of scary, like a little bit. He's not threatening Mickey at all, but like there's a couple moments where you're like, oh, this pissed off
chucking like
giant man
darts that he just chucks into his bedroom door.
And it kind of interrupts Mickey while he's talking, and he's kind of like, and it's not, it's so good. And then that exactly as you said, when Mickey leaves, he just starts going on a great tirade. It seems like it was like just pent up, just stuff that Rocky had been, and he's like, you didn't believe in me, and I don't remember what all he says, but it's very good. It's also very mealy mouthed and hard to understand. And then the third part of, like you said, when he chases him down, and you don't actually hear what he says to agree to this, it's so good. It's all those are great choices, just like how they did all that, and just the way. I mean, I don't know like what was written in a Stallone script versus like how they shot it, but all of it's great. Like all of it is like just done, executed perfectly, and that is probably my nominee for Sally Field Single Scene Award.
Oh, okay.
And the fight is too easy to nominate. I feel like it's got to be surprising, right? The fight is a great fight, and we'll talk about that. But like, yeah, okay. Well, we can get to it. And I also want to nominate Burgess Meredith for
in that we agree.
Catherine
I
O'Hara
have
Memorial.
Burgess as our Catherine O'Hara.
He's got to be.
He gotta be.
He gotta be. And Mickey gets all the great lines. You're gonna eat lightning and grab thunder. What else does he say? I already told you that shrewd. I really like that movie when he yells at the women that come to, like, when Rocky's now kind of semi-famous. He's like, this is also problematic, but he's like, move your little chicken asses out. And then
I appreciated that. And what does he say?
Give his piece of advice?
Oh, women make your legs weak.
Women weaken legs.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, women weaken legs. Absolutely great. Everything he says is nonsense. He also, at one point, he says, he's talking about an old match. He's like, he gave me this vegetable on my ear.
Yeah.
Because he has that cauliflower ear that boxers eventually get. He's so good. He looks like he spawned out of a subway car. He just looks like he has all the diseases. Like Robert F. Kennedy looks at him and goes, I think you really need to see a doctor.
I think you're... Oh, I thought you were going to say, I think you're onto something.
Oh, right.
We got to get this in a syringe.
Get this, man. This is what we should all be looking like.
Their dynamic, Rocky and Mickey's dynamic during the beginning of the fight. So Rocky comes out and he's like I mentioned, the dialogue as they come out like shrewd, and then they get in the corner and they're just sort of like not even making fun of Apollo, but just sort of like a couple of buddies, like kind of observing the, like this fucking guy. Because Apollo comes out and it's a very pomp, a lot of pomp. He's dressed as Uncle Sam, and there's like people dressed as Statue of Liberty with him. Like,
did you take it that they were mocking him?
No, I didn't. I thought they were just kind of like, huh, like.
Yeah,
like,
I took it as like they're awkwardly standing, like almost like they didn't understand the assignment. And Apollo's like, this is the assignment. I'm going to do a RuPaul's Drag Race performance. Yes, with a reveal in the middle of it, where I come out as George Washington crossing the Delaware and then switch to Uncle Sam and sort of taunt you. And it's so like, this is what Apollo thinks this is. Yeah. Which is just like a shameless sort of parade of his own magnificence. And I love like the difference between these two entrances. It's like Rocky just came out like it's a boxing match, and Apollo came out like it was the beginning of Cats.
When it betrays like that, how they've been training is right. Like Apollo's been and we get a lot of foreshadowing of that, of like Apollo's been concerned about, he's running a business, so he's
marketing
like
and marketing and the whole
like
PR
stuff that he should be doing to some extent. But Rocky's been fucking training to fight, and he's like, this is my shot. Like, and but when they comes out, he's doing Apollo's doing the I want you, and Rocky's like, is he talking to me? He's like, I think so. And then
I also appreciate the announcers going, now, of course, that's a reference to the posters used in World War I when Uncle said, like, we know what I want you is a reference to.
It was very
buy U.S. bonds. I got it.
And there's a beach ball on the field, because it was like, that was when he takes off the head, he goes, and there goes the big hat, because he takes it up because he's got to fight. And
it is nice.
It's great.
It is nice for people listening who might be listening on the radio.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's removed his Uncle Sam hat, and the match is about to begin.
We've also got Joe Frazier, real Joe Frazier makes a cameo, and they're kind of Apollo and Joe are kind of they're kind of boxing each other, like joking around, and Rocky goes, I think they're friends. Are they friends?
Is that the guy who was in like the sort of mint ice cream suit that comes out and just waves? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's a famous boxer that
I know Joe Frazier, the name.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to connect it to a face, but I just, you know what I did? I used context clues.
Yeah. You're so good at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then later,
when the fight kept going after 12 rounds, I was like,
I don't think this is
there
over.
must be some sort of rule where there are more than 12 rounds, using the context of the fight still going.
Still happening. And Rocky has fought multitude of times and never had his nose broken. He almost immediately gets his nose broken.
That nose, though, I got to hit that nose. It's a good nose.
And then during the, when that happens, Mickey's like, nose is broken. He's like, how's it look? He goes, it's an improvement. just good. I want that dynamic more, and I think that we do get it more, maybe too much later, but
in Rocky 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, other movies, yeah. I think, when does Mickey die? I don't remember. No,
I think Mickey dies in the second one, was the vibe I got in the trailer for Rocky 2.
I think you're right, yeah.
And his lack of appearance in Rocky 3.
Is there anything else? There's not really many more characters. We need to talk about Adrian. Do you want to talk about Rocky? You want to talk about Adrian? You want to talk about the referee? I mean, who else is left? Apollo?
Well, I do want to talk about the first scene is like a boxing match going on in a church. And I do want to say that I looked into it. The guy who is working Rocky's corner, like maybe his coach or manager for that fight or whatever, is, I know you were thinking this and you weren't sure yet. Yes, he is the janitor in the afterlife in Beetlejuice.
Oh,
so you can put that you can cross that off your list of questions you wanted to ask.
Also, I did some Googling about inflation, and his $40.55 that he wins is about $230. So,
okay. Did you look up the rent for the apartment that he would be staying in Philadelphia?
I did not. Did you?
I hope it's around $200. Go.
That is now a Sweet Cece's. So.
The idea of him living above a suite. Oh, I can't have this much carbs.
Okay, not while I'm training.
But the protein is good.
Sometimes I just take the peanuts.
I'll say this about Rocky. First off, young Sylvester Stallone, all day and every day.
Sound?
Cat sound.
Thumbs
up from me and the Google machine. So beautiful, so pale, baby-faced.
Do you like the rakish angle with the fedora and the leather?
I didn't like that, but fedoras can be flicked off of one's head. That's what I like about him. I didn't even realize that's his like signature look.
Yeah.
Because I know he wears something similar in Creed, where he sort of takes the Mickey role. He takes the Mick.
He takes the Mick.
And I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice that Rocky made later in his life. But no, he got a fedora, flipped up the brim, and he's like, I'm doing this going forward.
I think I read somewhere in some trivia that they picked that up like in the neighborhood at a thrift shop or something. And they're like, yeah, I like it. Just because it's for sale here anyway, it's fine.
It could be for sale anywhere. Doesn't mean it's the look. I talked about his armpits already.
He likes to contemplate his youth to smooth jazz. I mean, that's one of the first charming things we get.
Yeah, he likes to look at pictures of himself and his parents in the mirror while jazz plays.
Yeah.
We can talk about Adrian. We sort of talked about her in the problematic corner, but do you want to talk about her in a problematic way?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed her arc, which is, I think she does get to kind of come out of her shell a little bit. She does love Rocky. She is charmed by him eventually. She does.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie, I think, agrees that she's just shy, and she does like Rocky. So it's kind of hard.
I mean, I do want to point that out.
Yes. Yeah. The movie is like the problematicness, comes from the fact that that's not how you should behave with a woman. But in the movie, it's not that you should behave this way necessarily, but he's right. Like, she does like him and she's just shy. Like, so
the problem arises from it being written by a man. I mean, it's a man who does not perceive like how this looks to someone who's ever been in this situation. And perceives like, oh, I just need to, wear her down. Where it's like, maybe not.
Maybe don't.
And I feel like that could have been I feel like over the course of the problematic date, like, had she opened up during that process, if they had chosen to write lines where she starts to laugh or tell more about herself, rather than she remains taciturn throughout that entire day, which just to our 2025 eyes just makes it more and more uncomfortable.
She doesn't even agree verbally to the date. She just is so mad at Paulie. And then Rocky goes to her door and he's like, hey, can I take you out or something? And then she just puts on her coat or whatever. And then they're like, I guess we're going.
Yeah, she's dressed like a character from The Far Side when she comes out from that date. She's got like the cat eye glasses on. An old lady, like, she literally looks like she walked out of 1955. Like a photo of my grandmother in 1955.
She really does.
Absolutely. It's insane. Yeah. I do like that dowdiness.
By the way,
like the shyness.
Looks kind of like Meredith, Burgess Meredith. Sorry. Go ahead.
He was originally going to be Arthur's mom, and then they found Estelle Getty. Yeah, I mean, I like her character. I like the idea behind her. I just don't know if it's executed well, and I think it's sort of in the writing.
Yeah,
but I think Talia Shire does a great job. Secret Coppola.
It's not so secret.
No, I mean, it's very clear. I just like the fact that Coppola's, they're all over the place.
Yeah. She wanted to get out of her brother's shadow by being in movies. So we don't get a lot in the very beginning of her, like, I think we're kind of reading into her looks a little bit because she's not smiling. Like, so you kind of, the fact that she looks back at all at Rocky is supposed to be like, oh, there's a furtive glance. I'm like, it wasn't very furtive. It was just like, she does look at him and
she sees an object and looks at it.
Yeah. And even when it kind of makes sense in the beginning, the first scene that in the pet store, Rocky and Adrian are there, but then there's also like the manager of the pet store, and I can't remember her name, but she's like, get the fuck out of here, Rocky. Like, go away.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're in here all the time. You never buy anything, like, whatever. But then when they're there alone, it's the same. So if they could have changed the dynamic a little bit where she's just a little bit more, she smiles just like the tiniest bit, well, you get almost nothing. And maybe that's obviously later we can kind of retroactively use context clues, but like in the time that she's not really giving any indication that other than she's not actively saying fuck off to a giant man who could kill her, like, you know what I mean? Like, sorry. It's just, it's frustrating because I don't think 100%. It would have, I don't think it wouldn't have taken much to have given us just a little bit of she actually does like him, which we only get later when she kind of acquiesces more than is into it. Kelly Shire rules in this. Like, she does a great job, I think, of
I mean, that latter half, like, when they're in a relationship, it's very loving and cute. And, when she explodes at Polly, it's a really great scene. Yeah. The scene in the bathroom where on her day, one of the few things she does sort of repeat is, like, she doesn't understand boxing or fighting.
Yeah.
And during the actual match, she sort of stays in the Rocky's, I don't even know if it's really a dressing room. It's just a bathroom, really, that he got ready in. And you can hear her just listening to the crowd's response, and you can see her being concerned for him. She does come up during the last part of the fight. And it's really charming, like, having seen her growth. Like, when he's calling for her, she's like pushing people aside and screaming for him. So this shy, like, really taciturn girl, like, is like, throwing her weight around, quite literally pushing guys so that she can get to that great guy who bought those 2 turtles that one time.
And she also got butt kiss for him.
What's that?
Dog butt kiss.
Oh, right. Yes. I did like that dog. Wanted more of the dog. Like, once he started going on run, he goes for one run where he's really pushing himself and he's absolutely miserable. Get it. I get it. And Tyler was watching, he's like, he doesn't seem that victorious once he goes up the steps. I'm like, I believe there's a later scene. We're supposed to be comparing this to that later scene. And he's like, oh, okay. But then we were kind of like, when she gets the dog, she's like, I thought you could take him on your runs. He goes on one run with the dog, which is cute. And that dog is fucking adorable.
Stallone's real life dog.
Just all lips and gums. He does go for one run, but I wanted more dog running scenes.
I really liked when, speaking of Adrian, when she talks, they have this moment the night before the fight where Rocky is like, I'm not going to win. Like, he goes and looks at the ring, which is kind of terrifying because he just sees this, like, the biggest stage.
And he sees himself, they have these painted like banners of Apollo Creed and then him. And he tells like the match coordinator. Promoter. Thank you. Club promoter, DJ. We call it a DJ. Wiki. Yeah, I do club promotion online. I also do boxing matches. He points out, he's like, my shorts are actually backwards. They're yellow with a black stripe, not like black red, with a yellow stripe,
red
or
with a white stripe instead of
And the guy's like, don't worry about it. Just go home and get a good night's sleep. And it's like, you don't understand what this is. We're just having fun, beating the shit out of you, and then Apollo's gonna get some.
The trivia is that actually was a mistake, and then they just added the line. So
that's interesting.
People wouldn't notice. But I'm also like, would people have noticed? Like, also, like, it's a painting. Like, who cares? Like, why?
Hey, is that the same guy? Because that guy's pants are different.
Yeah.
I just don't. Is this the first fight, and then there's a fight with the correct pants later?
But after he does that, he comes back to bed, and he's basically like, "I'm gonna get my ass kicked," basically, and instead of saying, no, you won't, or instead of saying, telling him what to do, she's like, what are we going to do? And I thought that was such a good line too. Like, what are we together going to do about this? What do you want? Like, what do you want? Like, and it's so like, I don't know why that line specifically makes me so emotional.
It's also like not denying his feelings or like being schlocky and like, no, you're going to win, honey.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we are in this together and we're going to work through this.
And I got you. Like, if he had said, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to fight, she would have not taken a second hesitation and said, okay. And if he says, and he does fight, obviously, and she's behind him, like obviously scared for him and kind of timid and staying in the locker room like we talked about, but I don't know, it's just so, that line, I don't know why that specific line, and even we can touch on it again when we talk about the fight, but like the yo Adrian, like the classic cheesy now because it's so, cliche. Yeah. We created a cliche. It's like, it's kind of hot eyes. It's like, it's good. It's this moment for those two. Yeah. And it's like, he's disgusting. He's beat to shitty, but like, it's romantic because they
I kind of like, because that image of him after the fight is so like iconic and was, especially in our childhood, I feel like I had seen it 1,000 times before I ever saw this movie. You forget like how baby-faced he is at the beginning of the movie. Like it is quite the descent into, how he looks at the end of the movie. Do you want to talk about Apollo Creed and the fight?
Yes, I do. I love Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed is
Carl Weathers is
great. Amazing. Carl Weathers' performance is Carl Reed. Apollo Creed. His name is Apollo Carl Reed, and they were like, you know what?
We can fix that.
They saw Apollo C. Reed, and they're like, I've got an idea. Tyler did ask, he's like, wait, is Apollo Creed a real person? And I'm like, no, he's no.
I mean, it's
but I think it's such a ludicrous. It's a name that has been into the zeitgeist so long that I think Tyler thought he was a real person.
There's like Muhammad Ali is one of the most famous, but there's other like kind of flamboyant boxers that it was kind of based around.
Muhammad Ali is there. Like these are later references, but he's got a little bit of like Mike Tyson meets Don King in that.
Yeah.
He's like very flamboyant. It's over the top silliness. He's a showman, and that seems to be where his head's at. I mean, we see interviews with him. Rocky, even before they're connected in some way. Rocky is watching a news conference when he's promoting the original fight that was supposed to happen. And the guy's like, stay in school, kids. The bicentennial's coming up. Like, he's really tying himself into the bicentennial, really making it about American history and all this stuff. It's so great. And Carl Weathers plays it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, it's really good. It's, he's the press conference where Rocky's standing there and he's kind of making fun of them, like a little bit, but like just being arrogant and it's so like subtly bullying. It's not that subtle. Like he is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the movie even comments. I mean, remember Rocky says to Adrian as he's leaving, you know how I said that stuff didn't bother me?
It does.
It did. And then he walks away, which I'm like, is there any better encapsulation of a man where he's like, hey, right when I'm about to leave, I'm going to drop this dramatic bomb and then I'm going to leave so that we can't unpack it. Goodbye. Goodbye, Adrian.
I'm going to punch my way through this. Yeah, I mean, he's not in the movie a ton, Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, but it's
you really, I mean, oh, that's
looming threat, because he's been on in the background. We know he's the champ, and obviously we know what's going to happen.
I was going to say we don't have any scenes with him, but we do have scenes with. Oh, it's me talking. Sorry. The purple outline comes around my box when I'm
just
talking.
Now noticing that.
I think I've noticed it in the past, but it's right where my window is here.
Oh, so you thought.
And so I thought something was lighting up the edge of my curtains purple.
I thought it was aliens.
I thought it was aliens or my neighbor's inflatables.
Oh no! What do they have?
He has. It looks like almost like. By the way, we're recording in Halloween times. He has like what's the plague doctor with the
the big
nose
bird mask, the crow mask.
Dumb. I hate inflatables any time of year. Stop putting inflatables up. They're ugly.
I like them because
What are we,
I'm
a
also
car
lazy.
dealership?
I'm also lazy, so it's like a way of being like, but we'll also just be like, here you go, I bought this.
Look at this. I imagine Hillary Clinton on Broad City, like, ta-da.
Ta-da.
Yes, Apollo Creed's great. I love that sort of realization during the fight. I want to say, I do not like boxing. Even as a kid, when my dad would watch boxing matches, I'm like, this is grotesque. What is this?
Yeah, it's gross.
And even watching this boxing match, which is staged, I actually said out loud at one point, ooh.
Yeah. Well,
which is a very Powlen, but that's as much as I can muster. Oh, my stars.
I think we could do like the fight itself is its own conversation.
That was more Edwin than Powlen. I just want the queer pedants that might be listening. Yes, I know.
I don't want to end with this, so I want to say this before we talk about the fight because I feel like I could just sort of gush about the fight because it's so well done. But I think there's a race element here that is like a little bit uncomfortable in 2025 watching this of like, and I'm sure it was in 1976 as well, of like, and it's not that the movie's racist, so the movie doesn't think that Apollo deserves to be champion, but it's like there's a little bit of like boogeyman thing energy, and there's a little bit of like in character racism from the bartender when he like says something vaguely like, what does he call him, a jig clown, and like that he's
I didn't
like
catch that
because he is playing it up like that, like a clown, like he, so like it's not. It's all kind of in character, but there's something here about like that, like sort of the Great White Hope thing of like this. There's a whole thing, and I don't feel like I'm qualified to weigh in on too much, but I'm also like I just want to be like put a pin in it. I notice it, and I'm also like I don't know what to do with it, and I also like because you like the movie is very effective at making you root for Rocky, and I don't even hate Apollo Creed.
And the only black characters are Apollo Creed and his crew. Crew.
Yeah, and the only super smart character is Apollo's like trainer guy who's like, hey, he's left-handed. You haven't fought a lot of left-handed guys and they fuck you up. And he's like, hey, this guy's training pretty hard. Do you think we should pick? Because I'm watching him hit this meat on TV, and
you're made of meat, Apollo. We should be aware of this.
You're much smaller than a cow, so
at least 50% of a cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't say I didn't notice that there is this sort of like, let's take this guy down. This, he's up here, and then he's like, he's wearing suit, like Apollo wears suits and then like furs on top of the suits. Like there is a little bit of, you could say, stereotyping. I also don't feel like qualified, one, like as a white guy, but also like as a person who didn't live through the 70s to be like, hey, is this progressive for the time, or is this this feel like there's a little bit of an ick? It's not so much that there's nothing ever really all that overt, but there is the fact that this is the only black character that we encounter, and it's like, we gotta beat this guy, we gotta take him down a few notches. You could almost like envision an almost like an uppity thing where it's like there is an element there. I don't know if it's implicit or explicit or if I'm reading too much into it, but it does feel there.
It's something to like just kind of notice without, and I think you could be like, well, why are you bringing race into this? I'm like, it's, he's a black guy in the movie, and he's like the only black characters, like you said, are Apollo and his crew. And so it's like, it's his team. So it's like, it's there, whether you kind of, I don't think the story is trying to make a statement on it necessarily.
No, I'm surprised actually they don't bring it up more when he's, he really leans into this bicentennialism, and I'm surprised like no one ever brought up like, and we have a black, champion of the, world champion who's representing America. Isn't that inspiring or whatever? Isn't that progressive or something? The movie doesn't really play into that, but that also feels like, well, no, I don't know. That feels more 80s than 70s, where we just ignore it entirely.
Yeah.
So that we can easily just
complete our podcast. Do you want to talk about the fight more in detail? Because this was so incredibly good. The fight is so good.
The fight is great. I don't know if I have the knowledge to talk about it in detail, but it was very thrilling watching it go down. I love the part where Mickey and the other guys on Rocky's team are like, stay down. And he's like, and he insists on staying up. They all get very sweaty and oily when it goes from sexy to just like, no, that's gross. I don't like that. That's too much. That's too much sweat.
Yeah, and blood,
I did appreciate the oiling montage of Apollo Creed before the fight, where they were just like, let's apply some oil and get some real good close-ups of Carl Weathers' body as we apply the oil to him. I'm like, okay, I guess was I the cinematographer of the film? Yeah, this should last for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can get to the boxing match or whatever.
The story goes that they were working with stunt coordinators and work on it, and it just kind of wasn't feeling right. And then eventually Stallone and with what's his name, Evelson,
Carl Weathers,
the director, like he like wrote out the fight, and then they would memorize sequences as actors, like they would like a blocking, and then they would execute it, as opposed to just sort of like learn it more like a dance. They learned it like actors rather than learn it like boxers or you know.
Oh, interesting.
Like
okay.
stunts. And I thought that was, whatever they did worked super well. And I think it's really, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention enough to talk about like the shots, but it feels really not suffocating. It feels just really intimate. Just like if we're like right up in there. And I think they do a really good job of, like you said, the makeup is really well done. Whereas like by the end of the fight, and apparently they worked backwards. They like did them all up and then they gradually removed. So they like shot all the sequences backwards, which makes a lot of sense.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that either. Yeah, they both look like terrible at the end of the fight. Yeah, I mean, it's shot a lot like through the ropes. It's sort of shot from an audience level rather than like when you're watching an HBO boxing match, which I feel like is, you know, slightly elevated, so you're above the ropes. It's very much like often through the ropes and at the mat level looking up, which is really puts you in it. I feel like the sweat is flying in every direction. There are a few, you know, shots from above. I think it's also the camera is moving a lot. I noticed, like, you know, whenever they got hit in the face, like, the camera always happened to be behind the person getting hit in said face.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch that until like about halfway through the fight. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here.
There was a couple times where I'm like, because at the very beginning of the fight, Apollo's like kind of jabbing, and you kind of can't tell which times Rocky is dodging, like he's moving his head back, and which times they're hitting. And I think some of that was intentional and some of it was like, I think they just missed because they like made the sound of a punch, like it connected, but he did not hit him. And
I did notice that as well. I'm like, I can't tell if he's making contact or not, but that sound I'm hearing implies he is. It
seems like he is, but yeah. But generally speaking, it's really well done. And then, by the end, they like are barely standing. And then, man, I think they did a really good job with that first sequence where Rocky knocks Apollo down, because he just comes out.
And it sort of changes the entire tenor of the fight.
The music changes. Everything is like, oh shit. And
he's really going to fight you.
Yeah. And then Apollo's like locks in. And so oh man, it's just so good. I love that. And I also want to say, while we're talking about shots on camera, this is one of the first uses of Steadicam in this movie. That's like one of the things that this movie is famous for. So when they didn't use it, I don't know specifically if they use it in the boxing match, but they use it when in the famous run up the stairs. That's why it looks so smooth when he's going up the stairs.
Okay, all right. I've been up those stairs, by the way.
Me too.
With a lot of big straight guys alongside me.
I brought a dog, and its name was Butkus. No, I'm just kidding.
I did want to say about the match, this isn't related to the sport, but did you see Paulie brought a girl to the match?
Yeah.
He finally found love.
Yeah, seems like that's going to last.
Or paid for love.
I think that's all I have to say about the match. I thought it's just, it's famously well done.
I do. Yeah. The only thing I wanted to say, I said, you know how I said it didn't bother me? You did. I mentioned that. I did want to say the through line of Catholicism in this movie, never explicitly said, but constantly present.
Tell me more about that.
Well, the first shot of this movie, do you remember it? Aside from the title card? Jesus Christ. It's a mural of Jesus Christ at the boxing ring that Jesus, don't. It's a shot of Jesus Christ at the boxing ring, which I guess is in a church somewhere, where they're holding the fight.
Oh.
There is the Polly Adrian like dynamic. There is a Catholic tinge to it in that he is trying to get her married, but then when she's dating Rocky, he's very concerned about her virginity, which is class act. Polly once again winning hearts and minds.
You got ink. You got ink on your thumb, bruh.
Did I just vote in the Iraqi election? What is this? Oh, I've got ink everywhere.
Oh, no. He got red on you.
I didn't do it. Why am I don't like this. Anyway. So there's that. And I like Rocky praying. There's crosses all over his fucking, all over Adrian's house and his apartment. It's just like, it's not explicit. It's just like a little thing I noticed like throughout this movie is
I
like,
didn't notice that
you
at
know
all.
who else is here? Jesus.
And Mary, I guess. I don't really know.
Probably Mary, Queen of Heaven.
But
she's off on Thursdays. So
she
took off for the bicentennial.
For the bicentennial. I would like to do a quick quote roundup just because there are some of these that I would like to.
Oh, I feel like I've covered my quotes, but go ahead.
I have a few left. My favorite one is shrewd, so I'm going to try to work that in. How's the turtle food this week? I really like that.
It's so fucking obsessed with the turtle food. There's not as much moss, which gets caught in their throat here. It's more flies.
You're a tomato. So I really like that.
When does he say you're a tomato? Is that when he's like
things? I don't know what he's talking. Like, what does that mean? But yeah.
He also calls him a dago, which I had to explain to Tyler.
Yeah, not great. That should have probably gone on the problematic corner. Don't call anyone that. That's racist. I like yellow teeth. That's what the teen says. Not a particularly good actress, but I do like that line.
I do appreciate just the teenage defiance of no matter what you're going to say, I'm going to say it's a positive. People like yellow teeth and bad breath.
Yeah. When they were talking, the promoter was going through potential opponents for, and he's like, what about Buddy Shaw? And he's like, went to California and gained 50 pounds. So I don't know why I like that so much. Also, Rocky, am I talking too loud? I think we make a real sharp couple of coconuts. When he says to those two, you're shy. I talk too much or whatever it was. And then when the first time he goes into the meat locker, he goes, moo.
I didn't even notice that.
When they bring the reporters into the the butcher to film his training, she goes to Polly. The poor reporter goes, "What about you?" And he goes, "I'm in charge of the meat." That's it.
I do like that Polly was like hanging in the background of the news that he had brought
meat guys
in.
Back there. Yeah.
Truly amazing. How did I get so much on me?
I don't know, but we're going to figure it out on our way to the verdict. Let's go.
Please. I mean, I don't think I do, but it's still annoying. I look like a fucking cheetah. Look at all those.
Tiny little dot. What happened? Did your pen explode?
No.
Got yourself a bad pen? What you need is this Pilot
G2. I gotta
G2.
roll it on my hand.
No, this is a Uni 0.7. So it used to be this guy in the big round stick. But then I realized I like the Switch.
Oh yeah, I do like the Switch. I like these overall. I mean, I can't find the source of the issue here, but these are zebras. I like that they write really clearly up until the end. Too inky.
To what? Damon, what is your verdict?
With the huge caveat of the problematic corner, this is a good movie. It's well executed. I think even the problematic thing could be largely alleviated with some writing changes to make Adrian seem less forced to be there, more into Rocky than I think the movie portrays her as, but wants us to believe she is. I think that is a movie's failing. I don't think they are trying to portray one thing and it does not come through.
Yeah.
Otherwise, though, it's really effective. I like, as I mentioned earlier, the intimacy of this film, which I think, from what I can tell, gets lost in later movies when, you know, he's defeating communism through boxing. But yeah, I think everyone gives a really, you know, great performance. I think Stallone is doing a great job of sort of being this hunk of meat, cat sound, while also being like a sweetie patootie. And being kind of a nerd, for lack of a better word, like just being a huge fucking dork around girls rather than being like a smooth talker or someone who's like, who everyone seems to love him genuinely and not because like he's a bully or he's like a ladies' man or anything. He just seems like kind of like a big dumb sweetie pie. Paulie sucks as a character, and I feel like the movie wants me to think he sucks. But later movies seem to want me to be won over by him. Burgess Meredith, of course, fantastic. And the boxing match, for a person who does not care for boxing, is really well executed at the end of this. This movie is an iconic movie for a reason. And also, that fucking theme song, which, I mean, you've sung several times, but it's really fucking effective.
That's very good. Gonna try. It was like, really try now. I was like, was he not trying before? And he gonna fly now, but he's like, or no, it's trying hard now.
Oh yeah, there are lyrics during an extended.
Gonna fly now. At some point, was like, okay, that's cool. Fly, Eagles,
gonna
fly. Go birds.
Now, is that it?
Well, no, there's the choir that comes in and goes, trying hard now. And you're like, there's a little on the nose, but I like the rest of it. I always forgot how I always forget about the wah guitar, the just like, oh yeah, the 1976. Forgot about that. Did you have a alternate nominee for the?
I mean, I was just going to say the match because it was very effective.
It's hard not to go with that.
But I'm fine with I because it just shines more light onto Burgess. We can give it to. Did Burgess win for Grumpy Old Man as well?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw you a bone real quick, okay? Because you do our social media and you have to find the screenshots. Let's do the fight.
well, yeah. Whatever I can find easiest,
They're
put
both
or
great.
Oh, accepting Mickey's offer.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Well, I'll give my verdict. Thanks for asking. I listen. I don't condone Rocky's behavior. Okay. Mm-hmm. Unlike some people in this room right now, this virtual room.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just like it when a man takes charge.
In fact, it's so. Like, even for me, that was very upsetting when he, locks her into the room, kind of. This movie's great. Your Child's not an idiot. This movie is fantastic. Rocky's very charming. Like, when he starts talking to the turtles, when he starts the ice skating
introduces
rink.
the turtles to the goldfish. At one point.
He's talking to himself about the turtle food. He's talking to Adrian about the turtle food. He's talking to anyone who will listen about the turtle food. He's, the nonstop talking when they're on their date. He's very charming. And Stallone does like an incredible job. Like this is written really well. The whole idea, and it's like, it's kind of lore now. It's like legend now that he had the script. He was a struggling actor and he refused to let it, people wanted to buy it. They were like, this is a good script, which is cool. And then he was like, I have to star in it. They're like, who the fuck are you? No. And he like had hundreds of $1,000s like offered to him, and he was like, no, because you don't want me to be in it. And I just think that's crazy. But it obviously worked out. But he's very good in this, and I don't know that he's been this great in anything else. But and I'm not like anti.
Oscar.
Oh, like Rambo. I haven't seen Rambo in a long time, but apparently that's the original one is very good as well.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Oscar. He was the voice of one of the ants.
Demolition Man. We covered that.
Yeah.
No,
I feel like
this
you're
is not
glossing over an entire career.
I don't want to denigrate his performances and anything else, but he's great in this.
Softcore porn Italian stallion.
Talia Shire's great. Burgess Meredith is a goddamn revelation. I love him. And of course, Carl Weathers is fantastic. And actually, who's the what's his name? Burt Young, who plays Paulie, does a very good job of portraying him. He's just a shit character intentionally in some ways. It's very good. This is a classic, and if you're coming at this expecting all sports or all boxing, you might be disappointed because it is it's like an artistically done sports movie where in this you get a lot of buildup, but you do get a big sport payoff at the end, which is this fight, which is great. I don't know.
Hold the sports from you.
Yeah, as long as possible. It's kind of like Jaws. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have the budget. Or the animatronic shark didn't work, so we just chose. We didn't have the
technology to show men hitting each other, so we had to wait.
Yeah. What do you think, everybody? Do you like Rocky?
You heard of it? I think it's streaming on Prime right now.
Yeah, I think it leaves now. So
I think when we had it set up, when I was bringing dinner out to the TV room,
How old are you?
I saw it's like expires in 27 hours. I'm like, I hope this movie's not 28 hours long.
We'll never be ready. What do you think, everybody? Email us, yourinnerchildsandidiot@gmail.com. You can text us or leave us a voicemail, 615-576-0525. We want to thank our patrons for supporting the show, including Lindsay Halik,
Little Miss Chicken Nugget,
The Hands of Fate,
Stu-StusStuartJ,
T. Smith. That was my rock.
Okay. Captain Jean-Luc Picard,
Larissa Maestro,
Zachary Hartley,
Beth Shermont,
Lindsay Nell,
Bill Haynes, you're going to eat lightning and crap thunder.
Jackson,
Jonathon Day, you're going to have a nice Shiraz, and then you're going to pee waterfall.
Flawless Mick. Tommy Boy is my favorite movie. It's turning into Christopher Walken a little bit. Tommy Boy is my favorite movie.
The Zesty.
It had the cadence of a joke.
Dr. Malcolm's, heaving bosom.
And, of course, shit on the cartouche.
Caroline Amberson.
Oh, now I switched.
Now you have to do Meg.
Karen Curd.
Ooh, good job, Larry King, but okay. Supreme rule of this podcast.
Oh, no. Damon's Australian accent.
Jen Powlen.
Travis Vance.
Tippi von Cheaterly.
Josh Frigo.
Yo, is Honor the Mayor.
Particle Man from Schenectady are on.
The Elusive fan, Gromkin. Where are you? Are you over here with the turtles? I don't know.
Like Elusive.
Thank you all very much. If you want to support like them, patreon.com/yourinnerchildsandidiot. And
dumb.
maybe we'll say your name in a dumb way. You never know.
That's an opportunity afforded to you from patronizing us.
Because we're trying hard now. Not before, but now.